Hello, my name is Ruben Sanchez and I'm a scholar from the Chilean University La Frontera University. I am here to introduce to you the article titled Method for the Construction of Large Thematic Corpora of Online News Articles Towards a Corpus of Food-Related News, which appears in the Revista Latina de Comunicación Social number 74. This article has been written by myself and other two researchers, Carlos del Valle, also from the same university, and as well Marta Mensa from the Austral University of Chile. This article is a result of a research project financed by the University of La Frontera. The objective of this project is to characterize the news coverage of food-related issues by 3 Chilean newspapers in order to answer such questions as: what food-related issues are addressed or ignored in Chile's mainstream digital press? Which actors are heard and which actors are excluded from or underrepresented in the Chilean digital press? Due to the negative value that Western philosophy in general, from Plato to Karl Marx, has attributed to food and physiological pleasures, it is easy not to realize the true social, cultural, and political relevance of food and the private and public discourses built around it. Fortunately, thanks to anthropology and sociology, since the beginning of the 20th century, an academic work has been developed on the psychosocial and political dimensions of food. It has been found that food is such a complex and primordial element for human life that since the dawn of the 21st century, an interdisciplinary field of study has been configured in English-speaking countries under the name of food studies. Food-related content in the mass media has increased over the last 2 decades. These discourses are powerful, structuring elements of modern societies not only because they deal with a human social phenomenon, but also because they are disseminated by the mass media, the primary agents in the configuration of the public sphere. Despite its social-political importance, the study of food-related content in the mass media is still scarce. The editors of Food as Communication, Communication as Food, a book published in 2011 that collects the contributions of more than 20 scholars on food and communication, explicitly recognize that although food has been widely analyzed from an anthropological, sociological, historical, cultural perspective, the communication sciences have barely looked into this subject. With the purpose of contributing to the field of food studies from the communication sciences, this article offers theoretical and methodological tools to perform content analysis on the online press in a way that allows at least to explore, describe, and analyze the news coverage of food understood in a broad and integral way, as we will see later. We agree with other scholars who see content analysis as a prerequisite and as an essential step to study the relationship between this coverage and 1. Its production by the media, and 2. The effects that such coverage may have on audiences, and finally, the relationship between the food-related content disseminated by the mass media and the food cultures, ideologies, and practices of a given society. Thus, the reader will find a brief literature review on food and communication, a theoretical framework on food from the social sciences, and a detailed description of the procedure designed to form large corpora of news on food or any other subject deemed appropriate that can be analyzed with software. The article also presents the results of the application of this method in 3 Chilean online newspapers and a discussion on the results and the research possibilities that emerge once the desired corpus has been formed. To be precise, the method consists in conceptualizing and operationalizing the subject under study through a series of keywords that will allow us, with the help of Google and an online content retrieval service, to retrieve the news pieces written on that subject in such a way that they can be processed by means of big data techniques. In our case, we have conceptualized the issue of food and have operationalize it in more than 35 keywords. The result of the application of this method to 3 Chilean newspapers is an Excel spreadsheet file with more than 2,500 news pieces that can be easily processed from a quantitative perspective by text analysis software. This is to say, an analysis to detect frequencies, co-occurrences, and relations between words and variables, among others. Based on the results, the article concludes that from a quantitative point of view, the coverage of the 3 selected Chilean newspapers is quite homogeneous and particularly similar when we compare the 2 newspapers with the largest online audience, which represent the 2 media conglomerates that make up the Chilean duopoly, which has already been described in the scientific literature. Each of these 2 newspapers contributed to the corpus of study 10% more news pieces compared with the 3rd newspaper studied, which belongs to an independent Chilean media group. This difference could be explained by difference in terms of economic power that exists between this last newspaper and the 2 other that belong to the Chilean duopoly, as well as by the homogeneity of the Chile's media agenda. The full article is available in the website of Revista Latina de Comunicación Social. You can send us as well an email to the addresses that appear on the cover of the article, should you need any further information about our research work. Thank you very much for your attention.